You are listening to Innovators Can Laugh with Eric Melchor, where I dive into the interesting and fascinating stories of innovators and startup founders from Europe. Let's dive in. Hey, Happy New Year's, everybody. I am looking forward to an exciting 2022. Yeah, 2022. That's kind of a little tongue twister right there, 2022. Anyway, I've got a special guest, Pija Indriunaite. She is the Chief Marketing Officer for CityBee, which is one of the largest car sharing services in Eastern Europe. Pija, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you. Very excited. Always love a good chat. So it's going to be fun, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. You were saying that a lot of your team has COVID.
Yes.
Have you had COVID yet, or you been one of the lucky ones?
I'm one of the lucky ones. This is the closest it has gotten to me. So yeah, now I'm staying at home and praying for my team to get better because now we have nothing else fun to do while everyone is with fever at home.
Okay, so before we dive in, tell us a little bit about you and about what you do at CityBee.
Sure. So I'm Pija and I help with the marketing for CityBee. So I don't know if anyone in Lithuania and Latvia, most people know CityBee. It's not just a car sharing brand. It's not just to get from A to B. We like being fun. We like enjoying our communication. And so basically what we do in marketing, we just have fun. And if there's any conversations, anything that's happening in the office, it's usually what we translate to our audiences. So yeah.
Okay, well, let's jump into this. Okay, first question I've got for you here is, what would your best friend say your superpower is, Pija?
Ooh, my superpower is...
What would your best friend say it is?
Yeah. They would say manipulating people, I guess. You know,
That's
puppy eyes and like look very good. And yeah, so they call it manipulating people.
That's why you're Chief Marketing Officer.
Exactly. That's how you get there. You get here.
Okay. What is a favorite TV show or movie that you can watch again and again?
There are so many of these. I watch way too much of TV. The first thing that comes to my mind, I guess, Westworld, the TV show. I've seen it like too many times and it's still good.
Okay. I never saw that. So you recommend it?
Oh, yes. When Game of Thrones were done and like there was the global crisis of what are people going to do, they kind of introduced just before the last season the Westworld, and the first season of it is just fascinating and amazing. Really recommend. A bit of sci-fi, a bit of great characters, a bit of confusion, amazing plot twist in the first season, and then you have to kind of rewatch it to make sense of it while knowing what's actually happening. So
all right. Okay. Well, I will check it out. Okay. All right. Tell us something that you splurge on, and splurge on meaning you kind of reward yourself. It's something that other people may find, oh, wait a minute, you spend too much money on that, but this is something that you really like for yourself, to treat yourself.
You mean like how I treat myself, more or less, right? Like the kind of rewards. Oh, food delivery. And I do that like every day, twice a day. I think I'm one of the top clients for Wolt. And everything. It's like, it was a fun meeting. I should reward myself with a nice burger. And then like the food at my fridge is just rotting away every week. But yeah, always good.
Okay. All right. So let's, I've got a few fill in the blank questions for you, Pija. And I need you to finish the sentence here. Okay.
Well, let's do this.
First one here is, members of Lithuania's social elite are paying thousands of dollars just to experience Pija's blank.
Just experience Pija's charming meetings, like weekly meetings and one-on-ones. They are great. We have a lot of fun. So I assume like everyone would love that. Some motivational speech there and everything.
Okay, I want to join one of these meetings. Can you invite me to like one of your opening meetings?
Absolutely. Just usually be jumping from topic to topic, getting very angry and then very happy and just excited. Yeah, I'm a very emotional person and I'm not afraid to hide it at work. So it's confusing, it's motivational, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. So yeah, the weekly one-on-one meetings, they're great.
Okay, please. I'd love to be a guest invite. Send me an invite, and if I'll just sit back and
Yes,
listen.
we'll do.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right. Okay. Finish this other sentence here. Instead of flowers for Valentine's Day, and I'm hoping Valentine's Day is kind of something over there in Lithuania. I'm not sure if it is or isn't.
Yeah, it is. It is.
All right.
We've heard of it.
Okay. Instead of flowers for Valentine's Day, Pia would rather receive blank.
Bottles of wine. That's always much better than flowers, I assume.
Okay. I like how you said bottles with a plural, right? You didn't say a bottle of wine.
If it's flowers, then I'm assuming one by one, it should be equal kind of number. So if it's a bouquet of flowers, then it would be like a bouquet of wine. This is that would be amazing. One bottle too, it's it's everyday gifts or something. A bouquet of wine bottles, I would be very impressed and excited. And the present will be used very well.
Okay. See, I don't know if you're married or single or not, but if you're single and people are listening, they need to take note, right? Because they need to show up with a case of bottles of wine for you.
Exactly. My friends, they more or less know that this is the direction they should be taking. So here you go.
Okay. I'm curious if there's bottles of wine at the CityBee office in the fridge over there.
No.
No?
Yeah, at work, no. Because drinking and driving is not a great combination. And while we're at work, we are fully ambassadors of it. So there's the work time where there is absolutely zero kind of tolerance for alcohol. But then the moment you leave the office, it's a different kind of a talk.
Yeah, I get it. I know compliance is listening. They could be listening. So
I said everything well, yes.
Yes. Good job. Okay. Another fill in the blank here. Before Pia runs for president of Lithuania, she must destroy all evidence of her involvement with blank.
Okay, this is too close to heart. Well, all the evidence of those bottles of wine that people I think you'll get it. Yeah. So a bit of the boring answer, but I guess every chatty person has some stories that involves wine, alcohol, brands, and not nice pictures. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's jump into your career a little bit. You were telling me that people wanted to keep you over there at CityBee. You were planning on leaving, and they did something kind of strange in order to keep you. They were posting messages to you on billboards throughout the city. What's going on here? What happened?
Yeah. So basically, that's more or less happened. I was working at CityBee for more than a year. Maybe 1 year and a half. I loved it there, but I had a call from Google, and they invited me to join the team. So when Google calls you, you don't say no, of course. And after a nice chat with the team and with my boss, it was kind of the last week. And then one morning, I wake up. Of course, I overslept that morning, so I'm like, "What's happening?" And my phone is just kind of, I don't know, exploding with the notifications and mentions and comments and calls. Etc. And basically what they did, they just put a huge billboard in the city saying Pija Pastilik, which is Pija Stay, which is signed by the CityBee team. More than 50 of CityBee cars, their stickers were changed from CityBee to Pija Stay, Pija Pastilik. There was this kind of huge influencers campaign that all the influencers that I worked with through the year with CityBee, they had the video messages saying Pija Stay, Pija Stay. Yeah, and that thing went completely viral. It's very interesting station because my name Pija, it's kind of rare in Lithuania. So there are not many, I don't know any of the Pijas, maybe, I don't know, there are 10 of us or something. And so everyone assumed there's a very specific person, and who is this person? My face, nobody knew it because it's just from the name. So that week I used to go into the bar or I know on the public transport, everyone is talking and arguing. Does she exist? Who is she? She did this campaign herself, etc. Blah, blah, blah. So it was hilarious. It was hilarious. Yeah, that thing went viral. It was crazy, silly. Even I think one of my favorite stories from that time after I actually left, and then next day I'm getting the call from the head of customer support, and she's asking me, Bia, did you by any chance lose your ID card? I'm like, yes, maybe. I assumed it was at home, but why are you calling? Why are you asking? And she's like, yeah, so someone just called our call center to say that Pia lost her ID card. So basically some person found my ID, and from the name only, he was like, no, I'm not going to message her on Facebook. I'm going to call CityBee and tell her that Pia lost her ID. So yeah.
Well, I do confirm that it's the easiest, one of the easiest Lithuanian names I've come across, and one of the shortest Lithuanian names come across.
Yes, exactly. My parents really wanted to give me a short name, but they couldn't decide between two. So they actually gave me two short names, which is kind of equal to one long name. But yeah.
Okay. Now, your team, that was pretty creative. Since then, you're employing some other creative methods to recruit and attract new members to your team. Tell us more about that. What are you doing?
Oh, we have all kind of different campaigns. Some of them, they don't go that viral or big because, we have a very exact target audience. So like if these people notice, it's cool. And I remember even before Pija Pasilik, we had like 2 weeks to hire like 10 programmer guys, developers, which is like mission impossible in Lithuania. And we actually did it. What we're doing, we bought the boxes of donuts and we made this kind of very mysterious note saying like, hey, like we like your work. We want you to join us at 4 p.m. Open your LinkedIn. And then it didn't have any CityBee logo on it, but just an orange. Yeah.
Wait a minute. You sent them donuts and with a message that said, open your LinkedIn at 4:00?
Yes, exactly. And we didn't send it to them. Basically, it was me at the CEO at the time. We're actually going to the offices and we're like, yeah, we are like the courier guys. Like we know nothing. We have to deliver this thing. And then we kind of go. And it's basically the CEO or me just handing in those donuts and just running away. And then basically, yeah. And then at 4 p.m., that person opens the LinkedIn and it's the message from the CEO saying, hey, so I just gave you donuts and we think we want you. And like, we are willing to do whatever it takes to get you. And so basically it kind of worked. Like we got the full team in like a few weeks. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
That is so cool. So was it a LinkedIn? Was it a LinkedIn video call or was it just a text message?
Back then it was just a LinkedIn text message. So open and then basically there's the request from the CEO at the time with the message explaining like, so we are from CityBee. Did you guess it? Did you not? Most people guessed that it was CityBee because of the color and because of the weird way to contact you. So and then from there like the CEO took it like, are you willing? Usually if people kind of open, like at that point, most like 80% of them were willing to go to just to chat, a call, etc. And then HR took it from there. Yeah.
Oh, so when you dropped the donuts off, that's all you said. They didn't even know who you guys were, where you were from.
Exactly. It was just like this box. It was like, and I remember the guys like, who is this from? I'm like, we don't know. We're just delivering. We're just doing what we're told. We have no idea. We are from here and here. And then we just usually run away. And sometimes like, you can see like how people react. And it's also an interesting case, like the whole office runs around that person while he's unpacking this kind of mysterious box with a mysterious message telling him to open LinkedIn at 4 p.m. So yeah, this is kind of another headhunting campaign that we did ages ago. But yeah.
I love it. I love it. Oh man. Now, when they did come on board, did, after a while, I'm assuming they were probably asking like, hey, when are we going to get some donuts here in the office? Because that's kind of what attracted me to the gig.
Exactly. Actually, to be honest, at that time, because we were buying so many donuts for these things, and then sometimes you try to deliver, the person's not there. So what do? Okay, we take it back to the office. So for like a week, like the whole office couldn't stand a look at the donuts anymore. Like it was too much. So we had a break after that. But yeah.
Okay. So tell me about another time you did something that was kind of crazy. I know you were like co-founder of a vintage and upcycling society. You were like a facilitator of a program called I Heart Consent, right? I mean, is there something that sticks out and you look back and you're like, God, I had a lot of fun doing that. That was like one of my most creative things.
Absolutely. This is like all that crazy stuff was happening in my student years. During my bachelor's degree, I was studying at the UK and I was a super shy person who was trying to push herself into a very not comfortable situation. So every time I push myself, I register for something, I start doing it, and I'm like, oh, why am I doing this to myself? Like, I hate this. But so all of that was fun. I think one of the funniest things. So I started the Vintage Society because I don't know, I like vintage at that time, and so with some of my friends. And then after that, because of that Vintage Society thing, I got a part-time job as a student at the vintage shop, which was like, oh, it's super nice. It's nicer than working at the bar or something. It's cute, it's cozy, like so many nice things. After working there for half a year and looking at the stuff they're selling, I thought, maybe I can sell stuff. So basically, I rented a small area in that vintage shop, and I was basically in Lithuania buying cheap clothes from Humana and secondhand, and basically raiding all my grandmother's closets and buying everything. Back time it was liter, so it's like 50 euro cents, shipping everything to UK, and then selling at this nice fancy vintage shop for like 40 quid or something. So that was quite fun. And I like how one or another kind of opportunity pushed me to another and another and another. Yeah, so I was kind of the vintage mogul at the university by the end of my bachelor's.
Now, were your like grandmother or, whatever the people you were getting clothes from, were they just like surprised? They were asking you like, why do you want my clothes? What were you telling them?
Yeah, a little bit. They knew I was kind of weird, and like all the time, like I liked their clothes. But I was like, I'm making money. This is business. Do you have anything you don't wear? Just like, sure. So now they have nothing left. But
What is your style now? Are you probably more like, I don't know, are you casual? Are you still vintage? How would you describe yourself?
A bit of everything. Yeah, I kind of moved away from vintage a little bit more, though I still have some of my grandmother's nice dresses. But now, at the moment, like, the COVID kind of influenced everyone and the lockdown. So I have like 10 hoodies to wear most of the time. But I don't know my style. I like mixing kind of masculine and punk with the feminine. So it's always like, black suit, but suit and then red lips and then a heel or the kind of Doc Martens, etc. So it's kind of something like this. Because I'm kind of small and I have a baby face. So like for me, this kind of punkish, aggressive, masculine clothes I like for work, because since I became a marketing manager for CityBee Lithuania when I was 22 or something. So I always felt like I need to prove that I am something, to be reckoned with. I'm not just this baby-faced girl that doesn't know what she's doing. So yeah.
Okay. Now for CityBee, you mentioned that you guys are in Lithuania and Latvia. Is there any other plans for growth outside of those markets?
Absolutely. We are in Estonia as well. So the Baltics, there's so many plans and we had them for ages. We actually we were operating in Poland for a while, but once again, this is the fifth time I'm saying this word, COVID hit, and that kind of hurt the mobility sector a lot. So we had to make some sacrifices and focus on the kind of markets that we can be the strongest at. But the upcoming year, we are launching everywhere. So now they're kind of like the strategic meetings. What's next? Where else can CityBee take over?
All right. Good for you guys. Good for you guys. And like what are some of the other products that you guys have that people really get excited about?
Well, car sharing now is kind of the main and key. And I think this is the most fun product that we have. Of course, we have cargo and everything, but the passenger cars. And I think it is the most fun because product. Like you can go to the road trips. You can, I don't know, do something fun, go to the, seaside getaway, weekend getaway. So we used to have electric scooters as well. We were the first and the largest in Baltics, but we kind of decided to concentrate on car sharing. Another product that we have is MyBee. It's at first when we launched it, I didn't get it. For me, it was so boring. It's kind of a car subscription, long rental. So like if CityBee is for the short trip or for a weekend, and MyBee is for like half a year or 1 year. And I was like, ugh, that's so boring. But actually it's getting a very fun, interesting also brand. It's kind of finding its way. It's fun, this process of when you launch a new brand and you still don't know like what's the style and voice of it. How does it work? Should it be like quiet and sophisticated, or can it be cheeky? So it's a very fun process of kind of finding the brand and its own voice. So that's happening, and now more and more MyBee is getting kind of exciting products, kind of challenging the old school way of getting a car and buying a car, of this old school processes of like going to the bank, waiting for the car. So with my B, it's just kind of like, I think we were calculating it's quicker to get a car from my B for like 1 year or 5 years and have it like right outside your house than to order a pizza and receive it. So yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Wow. Hey, on that pizza note, got to ask you here.
Sure.
Does corn belong on pizza? Does corn belong on pizza?
Corn.
Yeah.
Corn. Like what? I have never heard of such a...
Exactly.
What?
Here
I'm
here in Romania. There's a lot of Romanians that like corn on their pizza. And I'm like, no, stop it, please.
Yeah. I never,
Yeah.
like, what's this word corn? Like, I even like got confused. I was like, that can't be true. Because I thought you were going to ask about the pineapples. That's the usual question. But I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, last question for you. What's something about you that a lot of people don't know? They're not going to see it on your LinkedIn profile.
About
what is that, Pija? Yeah, what is that?
Okay. The first idea that comes to my mind, it's a bit, deep. But yeah, I'm a very emotional person at work. And all the time we usually hear like it's a bad thing, showing emotion at work. You need to be rational and you cannot be led by emotion. And I think it's so not true. I'm very deep. Like if I get angry, I get angry. And there's like me, I don't know, screaming, well, not screaming, but being all like with attitude instead, like against the board or something. And then if I'm happy, I'm like screaming and like just running around the office saying like, we did this, etc. So I'm a very emotional person at work and I love it. And I think everyone should be like that because it means that something matters to you, like if you react so emotionally. Yeah. And it's also kind of, I think it's good for the morale of the group as well. So I'm in one of my motivational one-on-ones, so I'm always pushing team also to like really express if they're annoyed, if they are happy, if they are stressed, if they are like not sure, if they're tired. So yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Pija, Ona, thank you so much for being on the show. For everybody, if you enjoyed this, feel free to subscribe and we'll see you next week on Innovators Can Laugh. Thank you. Thanks for listening to the show. If you enjoyed it, I'd really appreciate it if you could give us a review and star rating. Also, don't forget to sign up for the ICO newsletter at innovatorscanlaugh.com, where you can get the bio and details of each guest. Thanks.